Oh, hi everyone. The Crypt Keeper is back again. I'm in my fallout shelter, aka my dad's garage. And I'm looking through all this junk that he just keeps stored here. Oh, so that's where I put the American Athletic Conference. This year will go down as one of the strangest in college football history. We've already had teams playing after natural disasters, world wars, and whatever the hell this was, but this is the first time that the entire season could be in jeopardy. It'll surely be one of the most interesting seasons ever, provided it actually happens. But we're not here to talk about how the world sucks. We're here to talk about how college conferences suck. Damn it, I dropped my phone. I'm gonna cut this out anyway. I've already mentioned this numerous times before. The Big 12 is West Virginia, Missouri, and Texas A&M are completely superfluous to the SEC. The ACC is nothing but filler teams. Rutgers. Don't even get me started on the American Athletic Conference. You've heard this all before. This time, however, I was joined by my Discord, specifically one to Pig Bear, to rearrange the world as we saw fit. But before we begin, we need to say the magic words. Hey kids, do you know the magic words?
No playoffs!
No playoffs! Great job! Let's get started. The ACC screen here is a good introduction to how these slides will work. The conference logo is in the top left, and all the teams are on the right. Clemson, Duke, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Maryland, North Carolina, NC State, Virginia, Virginia Tech, and Wake Forest. Below the logo on the left, you have the divisions, the Atlantic being made up of Clemson, FSU, Maryland, NC State, and Wake Forest. And then the coastal, you have Duke, Georgia Tech, North Carolina, Virginia, and Va Tech. Below that is the site of the conference championship game, in this case Charlotte. Finally under that are the conference's automatic bowl bids in descending order. The ACCs are the Peach, Gator, Belk, Armed Forces, Military, and Birmingham Bowls. The key difference for my Big 12 this time, as compared to last time, is that TCU will be staying put. The rest of the conference is the same as it's always been. Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, Missouri, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, the previously mentioned TCU, Texas, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech. ISU, KU, K-State, Mizzou, Nebraska, and TCU make up the North, we'll get to that. And Baylor, OU, OK State, Texas, TAMU, and TTU make up the South. TCU will remain in the North to preserve both Bedlam and the Red River rivalry, as well as giving OU a protected interdivisional rival against Nebraska. The conference championship will return to Kansas City, and the bowls will go as follows: Cotton, Fiesta, Alamo, Liberty, Texas, Cactus, and Heart of Dallas bowls. Yeah, of course the Big East is still here. I ended up bringing up Georgetown and Villanova from the FCS. In all honesty, they're here just to preserve continuity with basketball. Hey, if UConn's here, it seems unfair not to have these two. In the North Division, we have Boston College, UConn, Georgetown, Rutgers, Syracuse, and Villanova. In the South, we have Cincinnati, Louisville, Miami, Florida, Pitt, South Florida, and West Virginia. The conference title game will be held in Philadelphia. The bowl hierarchy goes Orange, Music City, Gator, Independence, International, and Frisco Bowl. If there's one conference that would have benefited from staying its traditional self, it would be the oldest one, the Big Ten. All 11 of the original teams are here, except for you, Chicago. There are no divisions, and usually no conference championship. We're going to have a first tier. The title game, which will be played in Indianapolis, will only be held in case of a tie. Say, I don't know, Michigan and Iowa are tied. They'll play in Indianapolis to decide the real champion and who goes to the Rose Bowl. Second place goes to the Citrus, third to the Outback, fourth to Music City, fifth to the Cactus, and sixth to the Pizza Bowl. The most grammatically incorrect conference in the FBS. If we were to pronounce it full, it would be Conference United States of America. Anyways, we got Charlotte, Central Florida, East Carolina, Marshall, Memphis, Old Dominion, and Southern Miss in the East, and Houston, Rice, SMU, Tulane, Tulsa, finally got them in the right order, UAB, and UTEP in the West. The conference championship will be played in Birmingham, thus signaling the death of home field advantage in a conference title game. The champion goes to the Liberty Bowl, with the other teams going to the Sun, Independence, Armed Forces, we'll get to that later, New Orleans, Bahamas, and Hawaii Bowls, respectively. The MAC. A weird little enigma in the middle ground between the Big East and the Sun Belt. These guys have just kind of been doing their own thing, except for those 2 times they somehow gave us undefeated teams. In the East, we got Akron, Buffalo, Kent State, the return of UMass, Miami, Ohio, and the return of Temple. Ball State, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Northern Illinois, Toledo, and Western Michigan make up the West. Not Bowling Green, but let's roll with it. The conference championship remains in Detroit, where it's been since its first played game in 1997. The automatic berths go to the Mobile, Pizza, International, Potato, Military, again see Independence, and Poinsettia Bowls, respectively. The Mountain West. I have a reputation of ruining this conference, and it's not ending anytime soon. In the Mountain Division, we have Air Force, BYU, Colorado State, bringing up Montana, South Dakota as well, and Wyoming. And in the West, we have the return of Cal State Fullerton, New Mexico, the return of Pacific, San Diego State, UNLV, and Utah State. The conference championship will be played in Denver, which makes sense because it's pretty much the geographical center. The champion goes to the Holiday Bowl. Since we got BYU here, it only seems fitting. Second place to the Las Vegas, third to the New Mexico Bowl, fourth to the Freedom Bowl, fifth to the Poinsettia Bowl, and sixth to the Arizona Bowl. We got an oddball here. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the Pac-12 a year ago, I gotta admit, Colorado and Utah have been growing on me. The Pac-12 will go unchanged here. Every single team is here, and every single division is the same. The conference championship will be played in Santa Clara or San Francisco, whatever. The champion, of course, goes to the Rose Bowl, second place to the Alamo Bowl, third to the Holiday Bowl, fourth to the Emerald Bowl, fifth to the Sun Bowl, and sixth to the Las Vegas Bowl. The SEC. You can't spell SEC without stubborn. In the East, you got Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt, while in the West, you got Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, LSU, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. The most traditional SEC you could possibly have. The championship will remain in Atlanta. You know, they love tradition. The champion goes to the Sugar Bowl, second place to the Peach Bowl, third to the Outback Bowl, fourth to the Citrus Bowl, fifth to the Belk Bowl, and sixth to the Texas Bowl. The Sun Belt recently changed their logo, and it looks really nice. I like it. But that's not important. We're talking about the teams. In the East for this lineup, we have App State, one of the Pig Bears' favorite teams, Coastal Carolina, Florida Atlantic, Florida International, Georgia State, Georgia Southern, and Western Kentucky. A bit weird they're not in the West, but roll with it. In the West, you have Arkansas State, Louisiana, who I just realized aren't Louisiana Lafayette anymore, Middle Tennessee State, North Texas, South Alabama, Troy, and Louisiana Monroe, who are still Louisiana Monroe. The conference championship will be in New Orleans, since that's where the headquarters of the league is. The first place team goes to the Mobile Bowl, second to the New Orleans Bowl, third to the Bahamas Bowl, fourth to the Freedom Bowl, fifth to the Birmingham Bowl, and sixth to the Arizona Bowl. My little red-haired stepchild, the WAC. I love this conference, so how about I ruin it? In the North, you have Boise State, Eastern Washington moving up actually, Fresno State, Idaho. Yay, Idaho! North Dakota State moving up, finally, San Jose State, and South Dakota State also moving up to preserve their whole rivalry. In the South, you have Hawaii, the return of Long Beach State football, Louisiana Tech, Nevada, New Mexico State, my baby, Texas State, and UTSA. Since I love the Alamo Dome, we're putting the championship there. The first place team goes to the Emerald Bowl, second to the Potato Bowl, third place to the Hawaii Bowl, or if Hawaii's bowl eligible, they'll probably go there. Fourth to the New Mexico Bowl, fifth to the Frisco Bowl, and sixth to the Heart of Dallas Bowl. The independents are going to be weird. There are 5 independents: Army, James Madison, Liberty, Navy, and Notre Dame. Obviously, there's no divisions and no championship. There are only 2 automatic bids, those being the Army if there's no Conference USA team going to the Armed Forces Bowl, and Navy if there's no MAC team going to the Military Bowl. The scheduling is where things get a bit wonky. Each independent is going to be having 4 games against a certain conference. Notre Dame does this usually with the ACC. This time they'll be doing it with the Big East. Army will do it with Conference USA, as will James Madison. Liberty will be doing it against the Sun Belt, and Navy will be doing it against the MAC. Of course, that leaves your whole schedule up, except for a few games. Notre Dame will have a couple games, most of their schedule filled out actually, because they have a bunch of rivals. They're keeping their rivals USC, Stanford, Miami of Florida, Florida State, Michigan, Michigan State, and Navy on the schedule every year. Army will keep Air Force, Navy, Temple, Buffalo, and Syracuse on their schedules. Navy will keep Army, Notre Dame, Maryland, and Air Force on their schedules. Liberty and James Madison are a bit hard. First off, let's give them each other, because I think they'd be pretty good rivals. Liberty will have Old Dominion and Cincinnati as well, and we'll give James Madison Coastal Carolina. Other than that, the rest of your schedule is completely free to fill. And so that wraps up our conference realignments. We'll be doing a second part for the bowl games, and this time I will actually make it. Crazy, right?